I was skiing at Sunday River in Maine. And what happened is we spent the whole night drinking excessively, probably until about 4 a.m. And then we woke up at like 6 to go skiing. So I was still intoxicated the next morning. We went out, and it was the first run of the day. And I was skiing right next to one of my friends. His name's also Dave. And we were kind of snake skiing, you know, really close to each other, weaving in and out. And all of a sudden, we just crossed skis. And so my skis shot off, and I lost no momentum. And I landed on my chest, and I just started sliding along the snow, and it was kind of icy out. So there was no tumbling. It was just basically like a human sled. And then I looked up, I saw some trees, and what I ended up hitting, which I don't remember the exact instant it happened, was a metal tripod that blew snowblower. My friend came and found me, and he said that my scalp was like split open, and he could see my skull.
That's so hard.
So we'll start from the top and go to the bottom. So the first thing was the big split down the middle of my head. They said if I go bald, I'll have a huge scar down the middle of my head. So the first thing was the scar. The second thing was the subdermal hematoma in my frontal lobe, which was bleeding in your brain. And then the next few things were spinal fractures. I broke my C1, C4, T1, and T6. And I was extremely lucky because...
Were you drunk?
I was still intoxicated, yes. And I was extremely lucky because it was a compression injury, so all my vertebrae broke outwards. Nothing went into the spinal cord. Okay, so the story, I should just say, before we continue with the story, is that morning, and this is relevant, I had had a big tuna sandwich and a bottle of grape juice.
Tuna's good brain food.
Yeah, but it's a weird breakfast thing.
It's
a tuna
disgusting.
sandwich and grape juice. So anyways, I break my neck, break my back, had internal hemorrhaging, my spleen was ruptured, lost a third of my blood.
Who took you off the mountain?
It's really bad. The ski patrol guys, they came by and they got me. And
They put you in a snowmobile?
They put me, one of those little sleds, and then they took me to the nearest hospital.
Do you remember that?
I never lost consciousness, they said, but somehow, which is a miracle, but I don't remember most of it.
That's horrible.
So they took me to the local hospital, and they didn't know my neck was broken yet, but as a precautionary thing, they always stabilize it. So I had the neck brace on. They knew I was bleeding internally. So my spleen was ruptured, and I was bleeding. So they said I'd do emergency splenectomy.
Splenectomy?
Yes. So I'm on the table in the ICU.
Sounds like it's
not an ICU. I'm in the table, and there's no ICU at this hospital. I'm in the table, and they're going to do the splenectomy, right? So I'm on this table, and they have me kind of strapped to the table, and I have a neck brace on. And in order to do the splenectomy, they have to pump your stomach, and so they stick this tube up your nose, and then you swallow it, and the tube goes down your throat, and they get the stuff out of your stomach. So they're sticking the tube up my nose, and they're telling me swallow, swallow, swallow. I swallow it, and then it triggers a gagging reaction, and I end up vomiting.
The tuna and the grapes.
Yes, but so remember though, I'm tied to a board with a neck brace on my back, and I vomit, and that vomit has nowhere to go except straight up in the air like a fountain, and right back down on my face.
It's horrible.
And so
this is a very sad story.
This is a very sad story, and it was tuna and grape juice.
It's disgusting.
And so one of the nurses goes, "Ew, what is that?"
And the other
the other nurse goes, "I think it's tuna." And I started laughing, and I remember they go, "He's awake." And then that was the last.
She's like, I think it's tuna and Welch's grape soda.
Yeah.